Hi, welcome, and my love to all of you. It is Anshu Sharma here. Parenting Guidelines, Episode 4. We are going to be discussing many topics such as single parents, protection for children, karma, criticizing grandparents, their importance in your children's lives, support groups, and the requirement of your children in high school just regarding their studies and their schooling. Lots of topics have been discussed in previous episodes. It is highly recommended that you watch them. You may also subscribe to my channel and look for the videos links to all my previous videos. I strongly recommend parents to also read my book Freedom in Life. This book is available on Amazon, and also, if possible, do my course in emotional integration. It is very important for you to have a clear understanding of how ego works within you and within your child. In the course of emotional integration, there are plenty of guidelines to integrate your own emotions. This course is available on my website and is totally free of cost. I have done it for the name of humanity. If you like, you can leave some donation from your heart, which will be gladly accepted. And if you can't afford, then this is my gift to you. So please, parents, all parents, do this emotional course on emotional integration. Otherwise, forever you will be reflecting or viewing your children from the lens of your emotions. And that is not good. That will reflect on their development. In the previous episode, we have discussed an absent father, but who is living under the same roof and not available mentally or emotionally for the child. And all this we have discussed in episode 3. Of course, there are absent mothers also who are living under the same roof. So they can, the fathers can also use the guidelines which are available in episode 3 if one of the parents is available and living under the same roof but mentally or emotionally not available for the child. As a single parent, you must watch that episode as well for additional understanding. Now on single parenting. A single parent must understand a child needs both the parents. You might have separated for the reason of your own, but the child neither agrees nor disagrees with your reasons. What he cares about is that he is loved by both of you. So rule number 1 is first protect your child by all means because your child is unable to protect himself in case of separation. Why and in what circumstances that protection is needed? Let's see. In my personal opinion, if you suspect that your ex has serious issues regarding alcohol, drugs, sex, anger, violence, or any other extreme behavioral issues, Do not leave your child alone under his or her care. Bad experiences sometimes scar a child for life. And these experiences may also filter in his own life. So protect your child. Take help from the support organizations or support groups and law. Leave lines of communication open with him and his family. And if someone in his family or whosoever is in his life, and if you trust that person and that person is willing to share some responsibility, then you may involve that person. If at all, you have to leave your child with your ex having all those problems. But after each visit, without interruption, without forcing your own control, manipulation, and will, allow your child to express his experiences. And if the need arises, act on them. Watch the child's body carefully and also be aware of the unsaid emotional reactions. So now we discuss a parent who may be having other issues, but not the extreme ones we just discussed. That from the extreme issues you have to protect your child. But if your spouse does not suffer or have these extreme issues, then you can relax and you can enjoy co-parenting. Let us understand some spiritual concepts first. Half of our side is masculine and half our side is feminine. But this balance is not fully in balance and is reflected in our karma. Every human being is striving to maintain this balance. Know that every human being who has taken birth is here to settle his or her karma. Karma is settled when situations in our life point us towards our shadow side. That shadow side that needs attention and our active participation in dealing with our hidden issues. The shadow side is there because we lack the skills to deal with it. When we pay attention and we slowly start building our skills, the shadow side starts getting transformed into the light. Now, how this is related to your child? Depriving a child from positive influences that the other gender provides is increasing his shadow side. Once you have separated half of physically means half of that influence is gone from your child's life. You have to be aware of it. But all is not lost. If other positive genders can fill the gap, then it is good, not only for you, but for your child as well. So keeping your ego aside, build relationship with your ex and his family if you can. If it is not possible, then keep making efforts till a reasonable working communication is maintained, where your child gets the entry in their lives. And of course, as we have discussed, you make sure the safety and emotional well-being of the child is maintained and guaranteed. A child grows with a rounded personality when parents and grandparents from both the sides are available for him. Now, if it cannot be done, then the second best alternative is to get involved in some sort of religious or spiritual organization where your child gets to meet other families and children who accept and love him unconditionally. These group generally invite you on their group outings. So, but you have to just make sure the views of these organizations are healthy and not radical. I know of a few Indian organizations which are operating worldwide, and these spiritual organizations accept all irrespective of their religious preferences on human grounds. I will mention their names in the description box. With my experience, although they are my experiences, don't take them for granted. You have to use your own experiences, your own your own vigilance, your own guards to see what kind of people are running these organizations first. But in my experience, I have seen that people involved in usually in these spiritual organizations, they come from good ethical background, and they strive to pass on the values to the children. Most people are trustworthy and most are family orientated. But you may also have your own religious and spiritual groups, and if you do not, you may try one of these. This is belonging to an organization is important for all children, I would say, because children after a certain age, when they become teenagers, they are more likely to hear their moral values from others. And building a strong identity where they identify with their nationality, culture, and spiritual values is very important for them. As parents, as an older individual, it is time for you to sometimes disengage from certain identities because the shadow sides are emerging and you want to return back to peace in your life. So sometimes that is the time when you start disengaging from certain identities. And that's where the confusion lies with most parents, because at one stage children are forming identities and at other stage they are disengaging identities from certain people, organizations. But a balance has to be maintained, and you have to be aware that your children are developing identities, and a strong identity where they identify with a particular national or culture or religious or spiritual values is important for them at that time. The time will come when they will grow big and they will disengage from certain identities. But forming identities in early childhood is important. Otherwise, confusion and doubts start coming in. And there is a need for the belonging. And if that need for belonging is not given to them in early childhood, then later on some children like to identify with not so positive groups. And this is not true only for the single parents, but for all the children and for all the parents. So I have personally witnessed many children with a single parent but growing to be all-rounded human being, respectful, educated, and having a family of their own now. Another rule is this is for all the parents and not necessarily for single parents. Do not verbally speak negative points of your ex or your current spouse or of the organization that you have chosen or of the children of the other children your child is meeting with. Criticizing anyone is not a good idea in front of your child. Negativity affects younger minds deeply. Informing them about self-protection is another matter. And that does not fall under criticizing. That falls under information you convey to your child so that the child learns self-protection. If you observe some negativity that needs to be dealt with, then go ahead and deal with it. But avoid discussing the lengthy discussions with your child. Because your child is vulnerable, child even as a teenager has a habit of holding on to the negativity, and then his mind will not see the benefit he is receiving. So if the benefits are outweighing a few negativity, then deal with it or ignore it. As long as your child overall is getting the benefit and is happy, you either overlook or deal with the negativity. Use your own wisdom to see if the positives are outweighing the negative. Appreciate whatever your ex or your current spouse is providing willingly. Any healthy interaction is better than no interaction. Another rule is invest in making one-to-one relationships with other friendly and trustworthy parents with similar age group as your children. This can be within that organization or outside. Please do not sit and wait for others to make playdates. Keep your ego aside and take the initiative to make programs indoors and outdoors for various activities. Pick up the phone and make effort to involve other parents and children in outdoor picnics and other activities. during their holidays and weekends. Keeping company of the same people over a length of time provides long-term relationships based on love and trust to both you and to your child. When children grow, they share pleasant memories and may also provide help. Other parents and children whom they have grown up with can provide help when needed. Another rule is find and build support groups of older, wiser people. It is helpful for any parent to get involved in some sort of support group. A lot of such groups are available either physically or some are available even online if you do your research. You may choose some older, wiser ladies if your parents are not physically parents, or some men within your family and friends. Talk to them, take a initiative and serve older people in whatever little way you can. When you do that, your children secretly admire you and they learn the valuable lesson in respecting and serving elders. Such children are more likely to visit you in your late age. Late age is a valuable. It's very valuable as it provides wealth of information with love and kindness, without the attachment of any ego. Divinity shines brilliantly in some older and wiser people. Generally, older people have the time to listen and guide your children in a funny, jovial, and easy, non threatening manner. They know how to avoid confrontation with the developing ego in your child. They quickly disengage and retract from those conversations. And generally, they know this skill better than the parents. Experience and age has taught them a lot. Now let's talk on karma settlement with your children. Rule: always keep short-term and long-term benefit of your child over your own short-term and long-term benefit. And then work out a solution in totality. Willingly or unwillingly, we have brought our children in our lives. They are here for a reason. We share good and also challenging times with them. We have a duty towards raising them to become a well-rounded human being to the best of our abilities. Every time there is a challenging time in our life connected to our children, we have to take it seriously and not evade or brush the issue aside. Some parents do that because they do not have the time or the patience. Most times, a challenging time or issue is pointing towards our own learning curve. Something new we have to learn, some new perspective we have to hold, some new light or energy has to be introduced if we pay attention. Our best option is to keep long-term benefit of your child foremost in our minds during their development period. With this intention, whatever we do will ultimately be good for all. If your child is settled and is able to stand on his own, then you are free. With parenting, your own short term benefit and vision for yourself should not come over your child's interests. Many parents look for their own benefit and then try to manipulate their children accordingly. You may get the short term benefit, but you will have to face the long term consequences. Keep this in your mind always. First, short and long term benefit of your child, and then your own interests and conveniences. Even with the best parenting, there is no guarantee that your child will come out exactly as you desire or planned. But if you have made the best effort, you will not live your life in regret or guilt. Okay, another rule we discuss: value the age related needs and requirements of your child. Let's discuss children's needs in high school. Whatever your age, whatever age your child is at, similar are his age related needs and requirements. For instance, building of a career and taking interest in one's studies or other professions or other areas such as sports or other interests becomes most important, or trade your child has picked up becomes most important during high school, college and university years. Your child needs all your support and good nutrition. At this time, if you busy yourself in your job or socializing, then both you and your child will bear the consequences. Even with the best jobs, you cannot take financial responsibility of another human being for life. In short, he has to stand and make his life. For this, you need to take time to help him, guide him emotionally, and serve him physically. Ignoring this time, and you and your child will have to bear the consequences, may have to bear the consequences for long. Some children can turn out the best irrespective of the circumstances, but as a general rule, children do need your active support during these formative years. This is a part of your karma settlement. How you adjust your time, energy, and finances where both you and your child gets the maximum benefit and none of you get neglected is what something you have to sit down, keeping his benefit over your own for the short time. Maybe you can go for a part-time job, you can cut down the hours you are working, maybe you can take a long-term leave, or if you can afford, take some domestic help so that your time energy is saved, and with that saved time and energy you can focus and reflect on your child's needs. You need to also detach from your personal need of money, material goods, and socializing. You need to adjust or surrender something so that you can make room for energy, for time and energy to serve your child. He needs you at this time the most. So look at your circumstances in totality, take time to reflect, and then make a decision accordingly. The parents who have done it temporarily, those who have taken a step back, have usually they get the benefit in the long run. They earn the respect of the child. Child remembers the help when he needed the help, the parents were there to provide. And you also feel good that your child is now free. Has made you free. He's earning. He has got all the values of his life. He's moving forward in his life, and now you are free to do your own things which you always postponed or wanted to do, or temporarily you took a step back in order to serve the needs of your child. So that's all for today. Thanks for listening. Hope these guidelines help you as a single parent and also the other parents. Please leave your comments if you have any specific questions or you want any specific issue, you want some help on a specific issue, or you want to learn some more guidelines, although we will try to continue this series. You may also suggest if you want some more clarification in certain areas. We can only do our best by sharing this information. Take what you resonate and leave the rest. Please subscribe and share with other parents who you think may also benefit from these videos. Lots of love to you and to your growing children. Take care. Bye.